All right, I'm here to review what I call Module 4 module review. This is again going to be going down to the web resource and clicking on module review. And once you're done, you can flop it back to Canvas and submit it here. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to the web resource right now. And by now you have finished the case control structure 1 and 2. And giving you guys an application now that's going to call for a lot of different controls on it. And what we've learned for the most part, and trying to utilize, for the most part, a lot of controls, a lot of different methods that are going on here. So I'm jumping right into Module 4. Module 4 opens up, and like I normally have, I'm reviewing the grade sheet with you real quick with this application. The directions and the virtual directions have been the same consistently so far in terms of how you submit your application. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the grade sheet real quick, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and you can see how I'm looking for the evaluation of the form, which is a lot of controls on the form. I'm weighing that as 30 points. I'm looking for there to be a message box in the code, and you presenting that to me in a snapshot of what the message box looked like during runtime. That's going to be 10 points. Creating an icon. I want you to create an icon for this module review activity, and you're calling that, I'm giving that 10 points. And then obviously the code, the completion of the code is 30 points. And there's some 4 terms that I want you to look up and describe for me, whether it's in my notes or just 4 terms. So as I flop back to the web resource, I will get into the search and describe as well. So moving forward, set the stage, you may see some of these requirements that you may have seen before in the case 1 and 2. For the most part, are the same. Clear, exit. Make sure you output text box to a read only. The icon maker here, making an if then else structure, and making sure the message box is being displayed there and so forth. Okay, so to go. There is a download. There's a Word download that you're going to have to be using with these screenshots. So that's right below the Firebox here. So if I go there real quick, you can see here, I'm looking for the flow chart of this application. I'm looking for the form of this application, and I'm looking for the code of this application. This application is obviously calling theater. Now, down below here, you see message box, combo box, radio box, and check box. And I want a quick definition of what those mean. So this is going to be weighted as 20 points if you're like defining some key terms, closing out this module. So understand, part of the grade sheet, this is worth 20 points in terms of search and describe, and you can answer those right at the bottom of this Word document. So don't forget to do that when submitting it, and I've already given you those same terms. So if I go back to the web resource, you can see these same terms down below here, search and describe. So I have them already embedded in the Word document that you're supposed to be using to turn this in. So I've given you what the form looks like, and you can see here we have a combo box, we have a check box, we got some radio buttons that are going on here in terms of the number of tickets. All right, so a lot of different controls. You can see what needs to be nested inside the collection of all of these 5 different theater or shows you're trying to go see. Over to the right here, you can see, for the most part, generic properties that I'm asking you guys to select and change each of these properties too. All right, I did not get into the actual name of all of these, but these, at this time, you need to be figuring that out. Now, I've given you the code, and maybe the code may enlighten you a little bit in terms of how you should be utilizing these renaming. Even though this is called radio button 1, radio button 2, radio button 3, radio button 4, I don't think you really should be calling that radio button. Maybe RDB for the radio button, RDB1, RDB2, RDB3. So, you know, in some sense, I get it, because when you go up to the form, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically, this is a new application using some new type of controls here with these radio buttons and nesting them. So I've given you some preliminary or desk check here during runtime, FYI, that you can utilize too in terms of trying to give you some answers. So the code is somewhat long. You can see I've helped you out with the clear code here and the exit code as well. So please understand that this is the code for this application that you're going to be building. Once you're done, again, you're going to be trying to utilize this and submit this back to Canvas with all these applications going. So this is a good, robust program for a good module review to get us going through the end of this quarter. So once you're done, you're going to come back to Canvas and upload that Word document PDF file to this location. So this basically concludes that overall review of this assignment.